Today, I would like to welcome our guests, Amir Khan and Prakash Goswami, the managing partners of MARL Startup Studio here in Rochester. Amir is the founder and managing director of the MARL 5G Accelerator. MARL 5G focuses on creating and connecting a vibrant community of early-stage investors, startup founders, and corporate venture teams in the space of mobility, autonomy, robotics, and logistics as the market for 5G technology continues to grow. Prior to MARL, he worked as an investment specialist at U.S. Capital Global, where he sourced and vetted investment opportunities in fintech while leading company due diligence processes. Amir founded Lentech in 2016 with the intent to revolutionize the consumer experience in banking. Prior to this, he was a management consultant who led countless companies from the brink of bankruptcy to success. Prakash Goswami is an ardent entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in strategy, operations, technology, and product in the technology and financial service industries, including PayPal and Visa. Prakash's entrepreneurship journey started as the founder and CEO of Vest EDU, an alumni-based lending platform to refinance higher education student loans. Currently, he is also founding and managing partner of MARL 5G Accelerator, which also, as we had said earlier, focuses on creating and connecting a vibrant community of early-stage investors. Prakash helps the startup founders as a mentor and board advisor and specializes in product strategies, lean operations, pricing models, and technology and business roadmaps. He's earned his MBA in finance and strategy from the University of Rochester here, and also has a BE in mechanical from NIT in India. And he's also completed the venture capital executive program from UC Berkeley. Both of you come to the Rochester community with a vast experience in global finance and business model design. I'm so excited to have you talking today about the MARL Startup Studio here in Rochester. Let's go. Gentlemen, why Rochester? Why now?
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for inviting us on your podcast. And there is a deep level connection, social connection, emotional connection for me with Rochester. I lived there almost 1/3 of my life before moving to the Bay Area. My daughter was born, and I have witnessed the level of talent available in that region is plentiful, but is not culture or nurtured because the lack of the startup ecosystem there. So the folks, they graduate from computer science from great universities like University of Rochester or IT or Cornell, and they move out of the region to find a job somewhere else. We are trying to change that. And that's the reason why we chose, and it happens to be the collaboration initiatives came from the Monroe County, so we are delighted to have that.
That's exciting to have spent so much time here and decide that of all the places that you could make an investment and really help build that ecosystem, that you have chosen Rochester. Amir, what does Rochester mean to you as part of this strategy that you have?
Hi, thank you, Jennifer, for inviting me as well on the show. I'm a fan. But talking about Rochester, I get to visit for the first time, I believe it was late last year. It was kind of a late fall. It was a beautiful place. I get to see the Niagara Fall on the American side. My connection to Rochester is by proxy from Prakash. When I visited Rochester, I met amazing people, amazing entrepreneurs who are trying to create something of value to the region and to themselves. And I enjoyed my time there. So I'm very excited to help those founders there. So that's my connection of Rochester.
That's so exciting. I think one of the neatest things about your particular program is that although you do a fair amount of collaborating with RIT and U of R, that you're also open to really help support people that are founders for the very first time in Rochester. And you have a really unique framework, the Think, Build, Launch framework. I would really love you to take our audience through that particular brand and help us understand what's unique about it.
So let me cover that first, and then Amir, you can jump in. It is basically a framework came out of or as a brainchild of our own experience and learning throughout our own entrepreneurship journey. Both myself and Amir, we have experience with our startups. And during that, we learned so much because we did not know anything about the entrepreneurship, how it can be started. So during those learning process, we thought, why not compress that learning into a kind of optimized way so that it can be helpful to the fellow founders. And it is essentially to eliminate the waste that we go through in our own entrepreneurship journey when we start with an idea to build and launch, and what are the things that we can avoid so that we do not waste time. And time is the essence primarily. Amir, you want to jump in?
Yeah, couldn't agree more here. A lot of my time, and I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, when they see a problem, the first thing they do is start to build. Especially, this is very common among the tech entrepreneurs who are good with, who knows how to code. But that's not a right way to do this. You have to think it through. You have to get the market opportunity right. You have to get the customer segmentation right. You have to really emphasize on think part before you write a single line of code. Otherwise, you're going to be building a product that is not desirable or not needed by the customer. It's more of good to have versus not necessity. And that's what my 2 cents on that.
And so I think what's very unique is that there's a lot of accelerator programs in the community, but all of them are actually taking for granted that someone's already designed an idea and it's ready to scale. Your framework is quite different. Can help me tell our audience about what's so unique about yours?
So we bring our own experience, right? And during that process, we validate all the assumptions, because the startups, they start with some hypothesis and they build product, especially the tech entrepreneurs, as Amir mentioned. We validate those assumptions first. And during that validation, we ask and encourage the founders to talk to their potential customers. If we do not know our customers and their personas, then we will not be able to connect with them. So that's what we emphasize is the customer. Know your customer well enough so that you can sit with them, validate those hypotheses that the product or feature that you are building, it is going to ultimately help those customers. And that comes with the experience, the rich experience that we acquired through our own professional as well as entrepreneurship journey. And we want to bring that experience and help these founders to eliminate the initial waste of time in building products without thinking about the needs or problems that you are trying to solve.
So Jennifer, while talking about the other accelerator program, you know how many times I have heard from our founders that thank you for helping us out, thank you for working us on hands-on ways. It is truly gratifying to hear that from the founders in all the 5 cohorts we ran in MARL Silicon Valley. Our approach is very different. I'll talk about a little bit about Silicon Valley, and that kind of rolls down to trickle downs to what we are doing or trying to do at MARL Startup Studio in Rochester. Other accelerators really give you the ton of cash, a lot of programming, but don't really work for your needs. We believe in no one size fits all. We want to work with every single founder on personal basis, understanding their problem, and then help them clarify what the actual problem is and help them solve that problem. Whether it's a problem of raising funds, whether it's a problem finding the right customer, whether there's a time to pivot. And that same analogy and strategy we want to trickle down to MARL Startup Studio. We want to work with founders and hands-on, and I can't emphasize enough, no one size fits all here. And every company, every entrepreneur has different needs, every entrepreneur has a different skill set, and every company has a different goals to reach. And that's what we want to help them out where they are, no matter if you are writing a single line of code, or if, no matter if you just have a pitch deck, or no matter just your idea on napkin. Let's work together.
Just to add to that, Jennifer, we want to be the extended part of the founders team, like founding team, right? Where we bring not only our own experience, learnings, but also our network, and bring it together to work and collaborate.
Prakash and Amir, something just clicked for me listening to you right now is that one of the aspects of the program is it's teaching about customer intimacy and how to listen at a very granular level to the customer. And what I noticed while both of you answered your question is you're actually giving the founder on your platform the level of listening that you want them to do for their own product and service. Did I catch that right?
Absolutely. Yep. If I may, absolutely, couldn't agree more. I go back to this analogy of we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. 2 ears so we can listen more. And that is the strategy that every founder is taking. One of the top salespeople in the Silicon Valley that told me that analogy is a lot of founders go to the sales meeting and start selling. Nope. The first thing you should do a sales meeting and talking to your customer in any way is listen to them. Listen what their problem is. You didn't make a product to solve your problem. Mm-hmm. You made a product to solve their problem. So listen, get to the bottom of it. Why cannot they do this by themselves? Why can you help them out? So understanding and listening to the customer problem to its core is extremely important.
And it seems like, you can't really do something unless you've had the experience. It's like philosophically, you can hear you need to listen to your customers. But what I love about what you're doing is you're allowing the founder to feel heard. You're allowing the founder to feel that you're actually doing customization to support them. And they can take that experience and then translate it into their approach with their business model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to hear the level of listening that you're doing for the community, and collaboration is being coachable, and collaboration seem to be like two of the most important skills that I'm learning are important to our ecosystem. Can you help us learn what it takes to be a great collaborator in your experience for us?
I can start. Well, the collaboration comes with the intent. Our intention is to be part of the successful story, right? And any founder, we believe, or let me take a step back, and I believe that in our life we collect a lot of dots, but after some time we need to connect them effectively. And you can connect them effectively unless you have a collaborative mind. You cannot be a self-centered or think about your own interest before putting others' interest in the equation. So with that thought process, the connecting the dots is very, very important. Second is the open to ideas and coachability aspect. Because I strongly feel from my own professional experience, and Amir and I, we kind of aligned perfectly on that. The attitude is more important than aptitude. Aptitude could be, somebody is a PhD from Harvard, MIT, or whatever. But if they don't have the attitude to or openness to new ideas, new concept, it is very difficult to bring the elements that are needed to be a successful founder or successful startup. So those elements we kind of identify and those elements during our initial conversation before we pick up a startup that we want to invest. And so those are essential elements that we look for. And collaboration is obviously a key component in it. Amir, you want to chime in?
When it comes to collaboration, I completely agree, Prakash. I think one point that I wanted to emphasize on that, a startup is nothing without collaboration. It is an idea, right? when you look at the successful founders out there, you can go to Musk, you can go to Jobs, you can go to Gates, and thousands of unnamed founders that we don't know about. They're not there without the collaboration with their team, right? If you go back to it, every single of those founders are great at managing teams and collaborating with their teams. In my opinion, a startup founder is nothing but a wrangler of people in a right way. You as a startup founder should be able to build a team, build a collaboration together with it, manage the people right, let the people grow within your environment, listen to your employees, listen to your early founders. Collaboration is everything in a startup. You cannot succeed without collaborating. One person cannot execute. There is no way, no matter how good they are, no matter which university they go to, no matter how many degrees they have. You need a team to collaborate. And successful team is always about collaborating right, treating each other right with respect, and understanding each other.
That's great. So far, for our audience, there are 3 distinct verbs that we need to pay attention to: listen, collaborate, and Amir just added wrangle to the to the list. I love it. That's fantastic. Let us take some time to think about a year from now. I would like you to know, if here we are in Rochester, relatively new. Let's imagine looking back. What have we accomplished, and what are people saying about their experience with MARL Startup Studio here in Rochester?
Well, I think the responses have been positive from our partners, from our mentors, and the universities, as well as some of the students, and that we have spoken to. So with that momentum, we would like to see ourselves as a kind of go-to team or go-to organization. If someone is in a coffee shop or in a bar, a few friends, they discussed about an idea in the back of the napkin, and they do not know where to go, MARL Startup Studio is the next step in their journey. And we want to establish that kind of reputation, as well as the space in people's mind, especially the first-time founders' mind. And that's the our desire to be state. Amir?
Yes. A year from now, we want to be we want to be part of this entrepreneur community, truly embedded into it. And as Prakash said, if someone, not only the students, if anyone who is working on a good idea in technology space comes up with the idea with their team or having a beer with the friends, I think we want the first step. They want to talk to us, apply to a program, come to our pitch events, attend our hackathons, talk to the team, learn. No idea is too early. Nothing is too early. Come talk to us. Let's help you guide in the right way if we don't get involved with you right now.
I had once heard that a brand is a brain tattoo. And so in listening to both of your responses, I'm imagining that we would like MARL to be a brain tattoo of individuals that are at the idea stage of what they are thinking might be cool. And most of the times those conversations happen accidentally. They happen just kind of randomly. And so it's exciting to hear the vision and being at the very beginning of this. We liked the idea so much that we actually chose to name our program Think, Build, and Launch. So I would really like to thank our guests, the managing partners of MARL Accelerator, Amir Khan and Prakash Goswami.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I would also like to thank Startup Grind Rochester, Upstate Venture Connect, Upstate Capital of New York, NextCore, RIT, and University of Rochester for your partnership with the MARL Startup Studio and collaboration to this entrepreneurship tipping point that we have here in Rochester. Finally, I'd like to thank our producer, Scott Fitzgerald at Rockfox Studio. If you have an idea and want to know more about our program, connect with me at jennifer@marlaccelerator.com. Please subscribe to our program, and we'll continue to provide information and inspiration about taking your idea to scale. This is Jennifer Sertle. Thank you.